Hello, Musto006. We're back for part 3 of Pokemon AshGray. The realisation has hit me that since I've only about covered 3 episodes, I haven't even fully completed number 3 yet, of the anime in 2 videos, that this is going to take an awful long time. Possibly a lot longer than I would hope, like going into like next year, 2018. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to increase the length of these videos to about 40 minutes or so, and I'm also going to try and perhaps do 3 a week instead of 2. I'll still do a one I Wanna Be video a week as well, but I'll try and increase the length of the videos about 40 minutes and try and get maybe 3 in a week, because I'm slightly conscious that this could end up going in, way into like 2018, which is, I would like to have this done by the end of the year if that's at all possible. Obviously, if I end up getting way ahead of myself and this gets done a lot earlier, then fine. But just based on the pace I'm going so far, I'm not quite sure that I'm going to be not going to be done by the end of the year if I keep to my sort of current uploading schedule. So that's that. First off, what I was going to do this video. Switch, put Pidgeotto there as well. So fair warning this time around. I'm going to probably do a lot of talking about non-game specific stuff, and I figure that's probably the best time to do some sort of grinding stuff, because I'm going to need sort of my Pokemon leveled up and whatnot. So I've actually got sort of topic in mind. As I say, this video is going to be ultimately my history with Pokemon, how I came to watch the anime and the games and all that kind of thing. So I'd like to kind of cover that. And I figure that the best time to do that is really sort of while I'm doing the sort of more mundane stuff, not really progressing with the story so much. So fair warning, this is going to be very much a kind of talking video about my history with Pokemon, and I'm not going to be making perhaps an awful lot of progress with the game. It's going to end up probably grinding away quite a bit. So I will leave that in the description. So if you based on ultimately the premise I've just described there, you want to skip this video, then by all means feel free. Or at least, again, I will put in the description if, for instance, I've finished talking about what I want to and we finish the grinding, then I'll say when that happens, so you can continue on with the game. So you can see I'm continuing on with the game. But this is going to be a very much kind of a grinding episode, I think. So first thing I'm going to do is while we're in the middle of episode 3. I actually need to catch a Pidgeotto, so this is probably not the best of ideas. I don't know what the strength of the Pokemon I'm going to get over here is, but my plan, I think, is to try and find... Good. Is that a Pidgey? Okay, so it's a Pidgey. So I'm going to try and find a Pidgeotto. Hopefully it's not going to take me too long. If there's obviously a Pidgey, I'll just kind of take it out and whatnot. I'm not going to catch it, get a Pidgey. I need to find a Pidgeotto, because that's what Ash caught in the anime. But beyond that... you just turn the volume down a little because it's quite loud. Beyond that, that's going to be my sort of goal for this episode, as well as, I'm hoping I'll catch one pretty soon, but I'm then going to sort of go back through the Viridian Forest, I think it was the Viridian Forest, and try and just level up my Pokemon while I'm actually still talking about what I want to. So, I've got a Rattata. Okay, so the thing I wanted to do this video was, my history with the Pokemon anime, ultimately why I'm even doing this game to begin with, really. But my very short-lived history ultimately with the series. But to start off, we actually need to go quite a way back. So, and when I say quite a way back, let's just see whether Pikachu gets anything from leveling up to level 8. Thunder Wave, good, another move. And a paralysis, I think that's just a paralysis inflicting move, isn't it? So it doesn't do any damage, but should just inflict paralysis. No. Thank you, that's what I want. Thunder Wave, weak electric shock is sure to cause paralysis if it hits. Okay, fine, its accuracy is 100% anyway, so cool. Okay, so that could be quite useful. Sometimes, as I say, I tend not to use many sort of status-inflicting, affecting moves and such like that, but Paralyze for Pikachu could be quite useful, particularly since he doesn't seem to have a lot of other particularly useful attacks at the moment. Growl notwithstanding, which I'm hoping not to do. In fact, you know what? After this battle, I'm actually going to move Thunder Shock to where to where, if I can figure out how to do that, Thundershock to where Growl is, just so that I can... You blooming would, wouldn't you? Yeah, take that. Take some paralysis for your critical troubles. There. I'm going to move Thundershock to where Growl is, just so I don't have to keep pressing the button every single blooming time to move the... to move the cursor to the move I want. So, let's actually do that. See if we can do that. Well, sure, there must be a way of doing it, but that's not the button I wanted. Switch. No, not that one. Not that one either. I don't think. No, come on. Thundershock, Growl. Thank you. I'm also going to put Thunder Wave not in the bottom right corner, so that one I think is now bottom left, so yeah, that should be more easily accessible as well. Cool, right, so, yeah, my history. We need to go way, way back here, and I am talking like early 1990s, 2000. So my sort of first experience with Pokemon was, I did get that set up good, was while watching a sort of Saturday morning show called SMTV Live. Basically, it was a sort of it ran for about like 4 or 5 years, I think. It seemed like it was on for ages, but I think it was about like 4 or 5 years in, say, the late 1990s, early 2000s. And it had, as part of it, so it was sort of, had some cartoons and such like that in it, but it also had like skits and kind of things. So I want to say, for Saturday morning, it was sort of quite, it wasn't sort of aimed like, at really, really young kids. It was sort of like, for maybe sort of older kids as well. And there was quite a bit of like, what I would, maybe adult humour is a bit too much, but you kind of get the impression, or the thing that I'm trying to kind of get across there. As to, not just for kind of like, little kids, like preschoolers or infant schoolers, like that kind of thing. So yeah. Anyway, and one of the cartoons they had on there was Pokemon. So I think it was probably the time the anime was just starting. So they were showing, an episode a week. They were showing, episodes from the first season in Kanto in Kanto. I can't think what the title of like the first season was actually sort of dubbed, but the first series is kind of just weird in that respect with its titles. But anyway, yeah, the first season of Pokemon, let's just say that. And as I say, with no interest whatsoever in Pokemon at that point in time, I actually tended to either go away and do something else, or turn the channel over to another, turn the TV over to another channel just to not watch it, just while. And I'll come back to my SMTV Live once once Pokemon are finished. But I sort of came back when I was sort of obviously leaving. I sort of came back. Didn't want to miss what was coming up in the show, so came back probably just before the end of the episode of the Pokemon episode. So I did sort of catch little bits of ends of episodes. There was one sort of. As I had no interest in the series. There was sort of one Pokemon that just sort of caught my attention, which was I was going to sort of leave it as I say, not as a spoiler, but I already mentioned it actually way back in my I Want to Be the Boss playthrough. That's the title of one of my episodes, I think. So it was nice. Oh, it's also super effective against flying types. I was just thinking there that the didn't seem to be doing a lot of damage before, but of course on normal types that I've been getting, it's not so effective, but obviously it's super effective on flying types. I'd sort of caught wind of or seen little snippets of like Psyduck, and it sort of became a running it was just one of those Pokemon that was just so sort of like cute and dopey. I just sort of wanted to give him a hug, kind of thing. So it sort of became a bit of a running joke with me as well, sort of. So I've actually got 4 Pokemon Psyduck plushies. I also had a key ring, which, sad to say, sort of got a bit chipped and developed. He sort of developed pink eye as well. So the colouring of one of Psyduck's eyes just sort of went from like white to pink. So it was just sort of like really kind of weird. But yeah, Psyduck was sort of like the one element of like the Pokemon series that I could actually, I sort of actually was really kind of aware of, and yeah, it's the sort of Pokemon that I actually did kind of like. But that was sort of the extent of my real knowledge, or indeed enthusiasm or anything like that for the series went. So beyond that, very little. So yeah, the only other thing that I can really think about sort of way back when, I'm not catching too many Pidgeotto here, so I don't know if they're actually possible to catch here. I might move on in a moment, maybe back to the sort of the start of the where near my house is or something on here, so I can see whether I'm getting any different Pokemon. I actually don't know if Pidgeotto, for instance, here is it's not possible to catch a Pidgeotto here. So let's maybe try a new area. But yeah, the only other thing I think that I can remember sort of that was sort of a Pokemon related. Actually, I probably can't get back, can I? There's a river here that's going to halt my progress, I would imagine. And I haven't got cut to get back, so yeah, okay, I am a bit stuck there, so I can't go back. Okay, fine. That was a nice waste of time. Yeah, the only other thing that I can think of was like I had a friend in secondary school, and we actually, again, for some reason, I don't know why, although this is very consistent with me just in general with like how my memory kind of works and such like that. In terms, we'd actually at some point in time memorised the all 151 Pokemon in Gen 1. So yeah, I could sort of rattle off, and I still could. I say rattle off. That's probably a bit of exaggeration now, but I could still name you all 151 Pokemon in Gen 1. It might take me a little bit of time, but yeah, I would get there. I mean, not massive amounts of time, but yeah, probably a bit more than what would be on like Sporkle. So I'm not sure I could do it in like 12 minutes, or not at least how Sporkle organises the Pokemon, because I would tend to do it in like how many stages of evolution they've got. That would be sort of how I know now how well I'm doing, kind of thing. So yeah, and since Sporkle was just in like Pokédex order, then it's a bit more difficult to see exactly which ones I've got and which ones I haven't got. But anyway, yeah. So I reckon I could still name the 151 Gen 1 Pokemon. But yeah, that was, and I could do that with my friend back in. I want to say again, it would have been 1999, 2000. But that was pretty much the extent of Pokemon for me in terms of history. What? Okay, right. Fine. Okay, so I didn't actually want to go in there. I was just going to go up to the side, but okay, fine. It's telling me I can't actually go in there. Fine. I probably would have been. No, I didn't go in there. I just moved right. I was about to go down and come out, but so okay. So let's go left there so you don't appear. Okay, that's a bit silly. Okay, we'll spend a bit more time in this area, and just hopefully we can get a Pidgeotto is nesting somewhere around here. Yeah, past 99 2000, Pokemon was just something that completely passed me by. I hadn't played any of the games up until then. I hadn't watched any of the anime, anything like that. So Pokemon, I didn't collect the cards or anything like trading cards or anything like that. So that was something my brother did actually. But my sort of, I don't want to say generation, because I'm not like, I'm not a generation older than my brother, but I guess my sort of thing, particularly at secondary school, was Magic cards, Magic the Gathering. So that was sort of my type of thing, whereas Pokemon was sort of his. It was just about the age that you kind of probably expect Pokemon to be aimed at that point in time. So yeah, I was sort of aware at least of those, but no interest again in collecting cards or anything like that. So yeah, my past, I'd say 99 2000, there's no interest whatsoever in playing Pokemon at all. I'm at least aware of it. So, for instance, I mean, there were, Pokemon bosses are quite frequent in I Want to Be games. So you've got Missing No, which obviously is not an actual Pokemon per se. In I Want to Be the Boshi, you've got Coughing in I Want to Be the Tribute. But there are certainly ones that completely passed me by. So if you actually went back and watched my I Want to Be Myself Let's Play, there is a boss in there, three phase boss in there, with Groudon, Kyogre, and I want to say Rayquaza. Kind of pronunciation of that is always a bit up in the air. Rayquaza, but yeah, I want to say Rayquaza, or at least how I would pronounce it. And yeah, just completely passed me by. I sort of probably described them as some kind of like, I don't know, probably some kind of dragon thing, a whale thing, and I don't even know what I would have called Rayquaza. But yeah, just completely sort of passed me by. Looking back over the footage there, it's just sort of like, okay, how did you not know that that's what they were? But yeah, again, just no real recognition. And again, since they weren't Gen 1, I think I might have sort of twigs what they were, you know, if it was you know, a Gen 1 Pokemon. But yeah, since it wasn't, there was none that I'd ever seen before. It's just like, yeah, I don't know these are Pokemon. These just are like random things to me. No idea they're Pokemon. So yeah, until I would say the back end of 2015, just Pokemon was just something that just completely passed me by. Gonna level up again, yay! Level 10. Okay, no extra moves. I'm going to be a little bit careful here because I noticed I'm short on Thunder Shocks, so I'm not getting a lot of luck with Pidgeotto here. I don't know whether... Maybe I'll try another patch of grass somewhere else. Actually, yeah, I'm definitely going to go and... in fact, I better get out of the grass and not get caught in a fight here, otherwise I can't win with Pikachu. Because I haven't got any moves left that will actually do any damage. Cool, good. So yeah, we'll go back to the Pokemon Center and just heal Pokemon with a heal Pikachu up and get his moves back. And where the hell is the Pokemon Center? No, 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 no! There you are, up there. Yeah, let's heal you up. So yeah, back end of 2015, I just sort of randomly stumbled across on YouTube a series that was sort of a bit like a CinemaSins parody, if you will. So it's now known as PokeSins, although I think it was originally sort of called Everything Wrong With, blah blah blah. And it was sort of yeah, episodes of the Pokemon anime. So I kind of felt like, you know, I knew sort of enough about the series that it would sort of be, I thought, like, quite funny to kind of watch it, since I've no real personal attachment to the series or anything like that, so I'm not exactly going to get like super mad or anything like that about the, you know, all these parodies and such like that. I wouldn't go off on one because of you know, one of my like favourite series was having all this stuff done on it. So I kind of felt like, you know, it was kind of like one of those series that, whilst I didn't care too much about it, it was sort of one of the ones that I had just the barest amount of knowledge about, that I could kind of appreciate what was going on, yet sort of have a kind of a jokey laugh about Pokemon at the time. So I watched this kind of series and kind of really enjoyed it. Like a guy called Garen, his YouTube name is Garen Reaver anyway, and sort of kind of got through all his episodes of that. And I kind of felt like there wasn't much that I was sort of watching at the time, or yeah, watching else on the time, like on TV or on box sets or stuff like that. So I actually kind of just got I had the sort of just the idea to just, you know, go and start watching some of the anime. Just thought I could sort of get a bit more context about how some of these sins, or as they're later now dubbed, Minun, or plus all of Minons, how they sort of came about. So I started actually going back to just, yeah, watch the anime. And I just kind of ended up getting a bit caught up in it, to the point where I was really sort of enjoying the humour that this guy was finding in the series. But also then sort of, because I'm again kind of like a nitpicky kind of person myself, actually, ooh, what's that? A potion, nice, I'll have that. Sort of trying to find like my own, that's not the way out then, is it? Trying to find like my own like nitpicks for the series, and just sort of, you know, my own, you know, picking apart sort of other bits, you know, my own bits and pieces. So I can't just ended up watching the anime for that purpose. But then something really kind of odd kind of happened, or at least nothing that I was expecting. I got to the end of where this guy got up to in his Poke series. At that point in time, it's still going, and long may it continue. It's a fantastic series. I always enjoy looking out for any new videos. But yeah, I started to watch it more for the sake of actually of enjoyment watching it, rather than picking holes in things. So I kind of got through all the way through the end of the first series, so Kanto, and there were certain things that I didn't know. So my Pokemon knowledge sort of going into it was very limited. I think you could probably sum it up by the following. So I knew Ash had a Pikachu that was sort of quite prominent in the series. I knew Misty had a Psyduck. I knew Misty had a Togepi. Oh yes. Now, the only problem here is Pikachu too high level that I'm going to knock you out? Blair. I am going to paralyse you. I'm so worried about not knocking you out here. I'm going to maybe try... How many Pokeballs have I got? 5. This is probably a really, really bad idea, but you're kind of still low level. You are paralysed. Dang it. I can't, unfortunately, put Metapod in because it's just going to get absolutely creamed. Unless you don't have any flying moves. Even so, though... I wonder whether I can just get at least a couple of tackles in, maybe. This is probably a really, really bad idea. Okay, that's going to absolutely cream me. You're probably faster than me as well. Oh, no, you're not. This isn't going to do too much, though, is it, unfortunately? And after this point in time, there is no way I'm going to be able to use Pikachu, I don't think. This is, like, probably really, really bad now. So I'm probably at the point where maybe a Thunder Shot from Pikachu wouldn't have knocked Pidgeotto out. I feel like it will now. So I'm like stuck throwing Pokeballs at it now, and it's nowhere near low enough really to catch it. Oh, please catch it! Yes. Okay, my strategy there was probably quite appalling. Yeah, like I said, I'm no Pokemon expert at all. I was just, now that I've leveled Pikachu up to level 10, I was just sort of very paranoid, since the only thing I had was Thundershock that possibly have knocked Pidgeotto out at level 7 with Pikachu being level 10. So, yeah, I chucked a Pokeball at it. Well, paralysing was definitely a good idea, but after that, I thought I chucked one Pokeball at it, that didn't work. Okay, let's get Metapod out. Hopefully you can weaken it a little bit, which you did, and that was thankfully enough for me able to catch the Pidgeotto. So brilliant! It is armed with sharp claws and dives from the sky to capture it. It's pretty. It's pretty. Not prey. Pretty. It is more dangerous than the gentle Pidgey. As I said before, I'm not going to. Well, that's going to be the way out, isn't it? I want to go back and heal now, and yeah, because Pidgeotto's well, Pidgeotto's not that weak, full enough, but yeah, Caterpie's kind of out, and Pidgeotto is paralysed, I suppose. So yeah, we'll go back and heal everyone up. Where was I in my train of thought there? Yeah, so I was going through my things, wasn't I? So yeah, I knew that Ash had a Pikachu, Misty had a Togepi, Misty had a Psyduck, and probably the only other thing that I really knew, Misty and Brock and Ash obviously was the main 3 characters. Team Rocket, I'm sort of loosely aware of them, and that they had a talking Meowth, or they still do have a talking Meowth. And that Ash had a disobedient Charizard. I think I must have caught like the end of the Indigo League, one of the episodes on SMTV Live where Ash was in the Indigo League. I think he was battling Richie, yeah, his Charizard refused to battle, so and he lost. So yeah, I was sort of aware of that. So, but that was probably the extent of my knowledge going into it. So yeah, once I'd got to the end of of Kanto, so I got through the Indigo League and all that, and there were some episodes there that I recognised. I might actually switch now and do some levelling up for Pidgeotto. He's also going to be in the since I'm winning in the Viridian Forest as well. He's going to be a lot of bug Pokemon, so he's going to be quite useful in the Viridian Forest. So let's actually switch to Pidgeotto. I'm also quickly going to check out your move pool. So you've got Tackle, Gust, and Sand Attack. Yeah, you actually used all 3 of those again, didn't you? And Gust is the first one, which is the flying one. Good. That's what I would want. Anyway, yeah. So once I got to the end of the Kanto series, I was like, well, okay. Now I've gone way past where I wanted to, in the anime now compared to where this Pokescene series had got up to. So I was like, well, okay, yeah, I've done that, but do I actually want to continue watching the anime? And I was like, I don't know. At the end of the day, and this is going to be like a recurring theme, it's going to pretty much be like, I'm going to continue watching because ... a reason. So, the first reason that I sort of gave myself for continuing on watching was that, at least with Series 2, that it was still going to be like Gen 1 Pokemon. So I know there were a couple going to be sort of, like, you know, a couple of Gen 2 ones sort of sprinkled throughout. I mean, Togepi's actually a Gen 2 one anyway, but Marill was sort of fairly prominent one in the Orange Islands series Season 2. So, wow, Pidgeotto is levelling up extraordinarily quickly up to level 7. Pikachu's taking much more, need much more XP to get up, so that's quite nice. Pidgeotto's levelling up really nicely. Yeah, so I kind of sort of said, okay, well, at this point in time, I assume the only reason that well, not the only reason, because I did like Ash, you know, Ash, Misty, and Brock, obviously to varying degrees, but I did kind of like them. They were kind of entertaining. But I felt like a big part of the reason why I was kind of enjoying it was that the Gen 1 Pokemon were what I knew. And again, speaking from memory now, knowing all 151 Pokemon, or at least their names, you know, that was where my familiarity was. So I could appreciate what it was because of the Pokemon. So Season 2, the Orange Islands, it was still sort of Gen 1 Pokemon, and I'm like, okay, I can still recognise these Pokemon. So sort of did that, and then Brock left halfway through, sort of right in the beginning of the season, which I was very disappointed about. Of course, replaced by Tracy. But then by the end of Season 2, Tracy had pretty much sort of gone, and Brock was back. And then it was sort of moving on to Johto. And again, at this point in time, I was like, okay, I've gone through Seasons 1 and 2. We've now sort of finished, ultimately, with the Gen 1 Pokemon, or at least the main focus. You know, Johto's now going to be all about, you know, new Pokemon, Gen 2 Pokemon. Am I going to enjoy it now, given that I pretty much don't know anything? I might as well use Gust actually flying. Actually, Tackle would be fine as well. Normal would still get its stab boost. That I might just actually, that's not going to help anyway. Yeah, so I didn't know really any of the Gen 2 Pokemon, other than very select few. I mean, Togepi being, you know, one obvious exception, but beyond that, just really not knowing, yeah, really not having much of a clue about anything. So I was a bit like, okay, I'll tune in for the beginning, see what happens. And if it ends up being, wow, level 9, okay. If it ends up being something that I just, you know, just can't see myself continuing on with, then I'll just abandon it. You know, there's no sort of disappointment in that. I'll just, you know, I feel like, you know, quite old now as well, but you know, maybe I shouldn't be spending a lot of my time watching Pokemon anime. But yeah, don't poison me. Don't poison me. Good. Yeah, so if I do enjoy it, great. If not, then no harm, no foul. So yeah, I started watching it, and then the realization, sort of a few episodes in, was pretty much, okay, I'm not just enjoying this because I recognise the Pokemon. I'm actually enjoying this because I like the characters of Misty, Ash, and Brock. I just said Ash, Misty, and Brock really there. Oh, she heals me. Okay, that's nice. I probably could have done that then in hindsight, rather than keep going back to the Pokemon Centre all the time, but oh well. Oh! Yes, you did appear in episode 3, didn't you? I don't know why you want my Pikachu though. It's clearly not exceedingly rare. Your coughing knocked it out. Its power surpassed its evolutionary level. No, it doesn't. Your coughing knocked it out. Hand it over or prepare to fight. Ugh. Alright, I'll switch to Pikachu then, and he'll get some revenge. Oh, there's 2 of them. Oh, don't tell me of course I've got Metapod out and not Pikachu. Fan-flipping-tastic. I suppose it might not get the Intimidate, but oh well. Okay, so Pidgeotto will attack. And I'm going to attack the coughing then. You seem to do more damage, and for you, I am going to replace you with Pikachu. Yeah, no, what are you doing coming after my Pikachu? There's nothing rare or exceptional about it. There's just, you know, there's nothing good going for it whatsoever. If I'd beaten you, I could understand, but, you know, having lost to you, what point is there in you coming after me? None at all, as far as I can see. Anyway. Yeah, I was enjoying the anime for what it was. I think it also helped actually that there was one there's like it's got a tiny bit of health left. Of course you're going to poison someone. Why could coughing not just have been knocked out? That would have been just. Anyway, wow, that did a lot. Yeah, I think it helped that there was actually a episode like right toward the beginning of season, or not right, maybe right toward the beginning of season 3, but pretty close to the beginning of season 3. That was just, I thought was perhaps one of my favourite episodes of the anime, perhaps of all time. It's absolutely fantastic episode. It had everything. It had like humour, backstory stuff, emotion. Sort of, I don't want to say sadness, but kind of like real kind of emotion and everything like that. So it was just it was just an absolutely fantastic episode, and still to this day one of my absolute favourites. So yeah, it became much more about actually just enjoying the anime for what it was. So I decided that I would pretty much just kind of oh yeah, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself there. Which Pokemon that I was using. Hopefully there's enough between the two of you to knock Ekans out. Cool. Okay, maybe now my Pikachu is something you might be after, but yeah, okay, got my revenge. Sadly it wasn't Pikachu on his own, but yeah, I got a modicum of revenge. Goodbye. And thankfully you're there, so I can heal straight away, which is particularly nice given that Pidgeotto is poisoned. And very quickly I'm actually just going to switch round the Pokemon so that Metapod is not second. Pidgeotto's actually getting a lot, isn't he? So, you know what? Yeah, I'm in two minds now which one to use. I think I'm going to still use Pidgeotto while I'm mucking around in the Viridian Forest, because I feel like I'm going to need him leveled up more than I am Pikachu in the sort of short to medium term. I'll explain that a bit later. That's probably a bit cryptic at the moment, but yeah, I've got a feeling that I'm going to need Pidgeotto more so than Pikachu. Anyway, yeah. So got through about the middle of season 3 of the anime. So about 6 probably the way through Johto, and then. From that point on, it was always like, okay, yeah, fine, I'll see out. I'll continue watching the Johto series, so 4 and 5, and then we'll kind of see where we lay after that. So, and then at the end of the Johto ones series, Misty leaves, Brock leaves. I'm like, okay, so so now I'm thinking, now I'm a bit worried. I'm thinking, okay, so if it wasn't the Pokemon that I was getting, this is going into episode 4 now. And I'm not going to put my Metapod out because I really can't be bothered, so this would be the Metapod versus Metapod fight. Yeah, so this would now be Challenge of the Samurai, which is episode 4. Oh, Pinsir. Also, Pidgeotto, bumped flying types would be very nice. Do without bind, I must admit, but well, thankfully didn't seem to do that much damage, but that's not doing. I hope that would have done a bit more, I must admit, but yeah, maybe Pinsir's a bit. Okay, I'm hoping if you're faster than me, that's a bit annoying. I'm hoping I can knock you out in 2 goes, though. No, of course not. Although you're not using. Actually, I've probably got more damage there. It was a critical hit as well, anyway. So ding it. But yeah, anyway. So your next one should be Metapod. Nice little level up. New move time, surely. No? Okay. I will stick with Metapod. I don't imagine you'll be able to do too much to me. Yep, that's absolutely fine by me. Yeah, I guess worth pointing out here as well. So I'm following the anime for the most part in terms of the storyline, but I'm not going to follow the anime as like the thing to absolutely follow to the letter every single time. So I'm being very careful with the Pokemon that I'm catching and such like that. But yeah, I'm well aware that in this fight before, or sorry, in the anime that Ash actually used Oh, okay. Maybe Metapod's... Okay, I wasn't paying attention to that. I wasn't paying attention to what was going on there. Okay, this could be a bit of a thing. Unless this is just there, and this is just like a cutscene kind of thing. Oh yes, of course. So Ash's Metapod got stolen, didn't it? So we're gonna have to track it down now. Wonderful. Okay. In which case, we're actually going a bit more into the game, aren't we? So I'll come back to that maybe once I've finished my story. It's going to be an incredibly long episode, actually. I was going to say 40 minutes, but I'd like to maybe keep this to one episode, so this is going to be an incredibly long story. But yeah, I don't think I'll have anything more to talk about now, other than the anime and my sort of history with that. So yes, excellent new move. Yeah, so I got to I was just saying, yeah, the end of the Johto one. Misty said her goodbyes. Brock said his goodbyes, and it was like, okay, yeah. So now, okay, so if it wasn't the Pokemon that was my actually, that tackle does do more damage than Gust. Okay. If it wasn't the Pokemon that was going to be the key thing, it was probably... Well, yeah, I really like Misty and Brock, so, and of course Ash as well, but yeah, I really like Misty and Brock, and I thought, okay, well, that's going to be... Now that neither of them are around, that's probably going to be the point now at which I stop. But I thought, well, you know, okay, I'll still give it a go. So I'll start watching the next one, the Advanced series, and we'll see what goes from there. So we immediately get introduced to May, who's another character I really like. Also her brother Max. Not quite so much liking Max as I do May, but still. And then Brock came back right at the beginning as well. So it was kind of like, okay, yeah, I'm kind of enjoying this. Again, I think it probably also helped. There was another absolutely fantastic episode that is the sixth episode of season 6, the Advanced series. So I didn't say Hoenn, did I? I'm sure you all know it's Hoenn, but anyway, yeah, that was that. And again, that was just absolutely amazing episode, and just again sort of caught me. It was a really sad episode. I'm actually kind of, I don't want to say disappointed by it, because it's tough to be disappointed by something like that, but it was just such a fantastic episode. And again, I just got caught up in it, so it was like, okay, well, we'll definitely see out season the season 6, the first episode of Advanced in Hoenn, see how that goes. Got through that, and it was like, yeah, okay, fine, I'll keep watching this. Got through season 7, through season 8. Then season 9 came along, so this is the last episode of the Advanced series. Battle Frontier, and yeah, the voice actors changed. So at least the English dubbed version changed from 4Kids to something else, and wow, I actually kind of felt like, and I think a lot of people felt like this as well, and I'm almost somewhat, I don't say ashamed because I don't like words, but I sort of fell into the same camp as well. You're actually getting quite strong now, so I might switch to Pikachu and actually get you leveled up a bit more as well. Level 14 compared to level 10. Yeah, let's get Pikachu up. That's not the button I wanted. Let's get Pikachu up. Do some grinding on Pikachu. That came out really weird. Let's do some grinding on Pikachu. Wow, no. That's not what I meant to say. I'm sure you know what I did mean to say, but let's just leave that there. That's let's just leave that there. Anyway, back to my story. Season 9, when the voice actors, the English dub voice actors changed. Oh my goodness! It almost was to the point where I was like, I don't know, I could watch this. I honestly felt like the first couple of episodes of season 9 were so bad that. Let's just stop there while I delete a move to make room for quick attack. Yes, there's a deep quick attack. Do I want to get rid of Growl or Tail Whip? Let's get rid of Growl. That way I can't accidentally use it. And I've got another attacking move for Pikachu now as well, other than just Thunder Shock, which is nice. And I always do like quick attack as a move, just as a sort of one, obviously, that allows you to actually, move first pretty much all the time. That's obviously you've got a faster Pokemon that uses quick attack. But yeah, anyway, the voice acting at the beginning of season 9 I felt so bad that I was just like, I don't think I can watch this. the thing that pulled me round, again, fun enough, right at the beginning, and I seem to almost have a habit of doing like episodes that I really like, fun enough, obviously not specific to me, but it just so happens that episodes at the beginning of the seasons were ones that I really liked, and again, the second episode of season 9 with the new voice acting, what I thought was just, again, really, really good, which kind of pulled me in, kind of kept me thinking, okay, this voice acting is terrible. I don't know, they're kind of like bedding in, and obviously, you know, it's. I mean, you probably if you actually go back to like the the original, the first series, you kind of feel like I know you've got nothing to compare it against, and I thought that's what kind of threw me off. Kind of like comparing, season 1 to 8 Ash and season 6 to 8 May in particular with season 9 Ash and May. Brock's voice actor, funny enough, didn't sort of bother me that much. I just felt Brock's was fine. James is another one. James, Team Rocket's voice actor. Oh my god, I still don't like James's voice actor to this date, less so. I dislike it less so than I did initially. But yeah, I'm still not a fan of James's changing James's voice actor. Not that the guys are doing a bad job, but it just feels like it's so. It just feels like it's so different, But anyway, yeah, the difference in particular for, I would say, Ash and May even more so, was just astounding, I felt. But I was like, okay, I'm still kind of enjoying it, despite the voice acting. I'll get through season 9, I'll finish the Hoenn, the Advanced series, then I'll reevaluate afterwards. If the voice acting is still pretty bad after that, it'll be okay, now is the time to knock it on its head, I'll stop watching after that. So that's exactly what I did. So I went to the beginning of the Diamond and Pearl series, and well, I have to say by the end of season 9, I did think Ash's new voice actor was much more listenable to, or much more didn't feel like felt so unusual to me, or so. I was like, okay, fine. And then of course, yes, May, Max, and Brock all left at the end of season 9. So I was like, I had this kind of feeling when I went through, when I had with Misty and Brock the first time. So I got attached to them, and now May and Brock are gone again. Am I going to enjoy the new characters that are appearing? I don't know. I'll have to go back and thankfully there's a healer somewhere in here, so I'll have to go back and find her. So again, sort of coming in again, new to Diamond and Pearl, new cast and whatnot. So a little bit of trepidation there, but new character right off the bat, Dawn, who I really liked, and also I think also what really helped there was from Dawn's point of view that, unlike May, for instance, where I'd grown so sort of almost attached is the wrong word, but Veronica Taylor, who was her voice actor, and also Ash's as well, was just got so like recognisable to me that it was just such a massive shock to hear someone else doing it. But with Dawn's case, there was no previous. She hadn't been in the anime before. Screw you, Beedrill. There was nothing to compare it to. So, and while I do think that Dawn's voice did get better, through, it wasn't like bad at the beginning, but you can still hear a change in Dawn's voice as you go through the Diamond and Pearl series. But it was still absolutely fine at the beginning. But again, maybe that was because there was, she hadn't previously been in the anime. There was nothing to compare it to. So I think that was probably a big help. Brock came back again, even quicker than he came back at the start of the Advanced series this time as well. So that was great news. Okay, I was like, okay, fine. If this is how it's going to be, I'll definitely go through Diamond and Pearl. So I'm kind of like whizzing through now, because I think we're kind of getting to the point where I'm pretty much now kind of you can obviously see where this is going to go. But there was no sort of further changes really through Diamond and Pearl. So what am I doing? That was all absolutely fine. And then so once Diamond and Pearl had finished, and it was really sad then when Dawn left and Brock left again. I felt like there was something more special about Brock's departure this time, or actually felt like it was the last one. I did feel that way after in the original series, as well. But I didn't feel like his Hoenn goodbye was like a real goodbye. I sort of had a suspicion, funny enough, that he would be back, and indeed he was. But his Diamond and Pearl one actually did feel like Sinnoh. I've actually mentioned, I think I mentioned Sinnoh before. Obviously, that's where the Diamond and Pearl one series takes place. But yeah, I got the impression Brock's was much more of a goodbye kind of one, which again made me kind of a bit disappointed. But by this point in time, I'd given the Advanced series a chance, and still really liked it. I'd given the Diamond and Pearl series a chance and really liked it. There was no way I wasn't going to give the Black and White series, or Best Wishes, however you want to refer to it, in Universe, a chance as well. And yeah, there's probably a noticeable dip in the quality, I would say, between seasons. Between Diamond and Pearl. So Diamond and Pearl was for 4 years as well as the Advanced. So yeah, the original was 1 to 5, and then 6 to 9, sorry, for the Advanced Hoenn, and then 9 to 13 for Diamond and Pearl Sinnoh. So 14 to 16. It was only 3 seasons. The Best Wishes or Black and White. Yeah, I felt like there was a notable dip in quality coming straight off of Diamond and Pearl, but. And we've obviously got two completely new travelling companions, so Iris and Silent. So indeed, Brock had disappeared; he wasn't coming back. So Iris and Silent, who I don't dislike by any stretch of the imagination. I know people absolutely seem to really dislike or hate both of them. Again, I feel like it's to do with, oh well, they're not Misty or May or Dawn, and in particular Silent. Well, he's not Brock, because I think it's a stupid reason for disliking someone or indeed hating someone, but it is what it is. But yeah, I definitely felt like there was a dip in quality in the Black and White or Best Wishes series, but I still enjoyed it for what it was, and by this point in time, there was no way that I wasn't not gonna see through, and watch the X and Y series, which was pretty much at that point in time the last one. So I didn't actually sort of say anything on the timeline here, so I'll go back and do that quickly. So I actually watched the first 2 seasons back at the end of 2015. So this is when I first stumbled across this PokeSins, Everything Wrong with Pokemon, the Pokemon anime series. I watched the first 2 seasons at the back end of 2015, and then 2016 was definitely the year of Pokemon for me. So by this point in time, I'd gone through pretty much all of season 3 to 16, and it was sort of now around, I'd say probably October 2016. That I just started the X and Y series, and again, new companions, 3 of them this time. Bonnie, Clement and Serena, all of whom I really like as well. It's worked out actually perfect from a time point of view that I actually finished the X, Y and Z, well the last one for season, 3 seasons again, 17 to 19. But I finished that, I think the penultimate English dubbed episode aired just before the end of the year. Which was again like perfect timing. I felt like, well, the perfect timing would have been the final episode in English dub, but I actually watched the Japanese one just before the end of the year, actually on New Year's Eve, just so I could say, well, I finished the anime or finished pretty much the anime in the end of 2016. I did go and watch the English dubbed one a week later when that was released, but I just I thought there's no way I'm not going to do that. But yeah, that's where we are now. I haven't at the moment watched really any of the Sun and Moon anime. I've watched the first episode because there was a whole lot of fuss going on about the anime, and I was like, well, what is all the fuss about? And having watched the first episode, I can see what the fuss is all about. I can't say I'm a particular fan of what they've done with Ash or the new art style or anything like that. So that's I'm not terribly enthusiastic about it, but I know people sort of say it probably gets better and such like that, or you get used to it and such like that, and I'm sure that might be the case. And I'm certainly not going to not watch it, but I'm going to at least wait, like I do pretty much with all TV series or things that I can get on box sets. I'm pretty much going to wait until at least the first full season of Sun and Moon is actually complete in English dub before I start watching it. I do know a couple of things that are coming up in it again, because I've got my Pokemon ear is so close to the ground now that I can't not pick up on things. So I'm aware of certain plots, certain plots, and actually obviously the characters. I wouldn't say travelling companions because they're sort of stuck in school now and they're not really travelling anywhere. But anyway, for want of a better phrase, travelling companions. I'm sort of aware of at least who they are. My plan is to. Why would you have to poison sting me? Seriously. My plan is to probably just wait until the anime is sort of, the first, so season 20, I guess, the first Sun and Moon season is complete before I actually go and actually watch it properly. So yeah, that's sort of my history really with the anime. I was going to do sort of like a history with the games as well, but I'm going to just very quickly rattle through that because I think it's like really much to say on that. But yeah, I mean, I've only played the main series games. The very first one I played was Pokemon Yellow when it came out on the Virtual Console and 3DS. So I played that. You sodding wood. Now I'm going to have to go back and bloody heal and sort that out. Fan-flipping-tastic. Yeah, so I played that probably when it, it was pretty much as soon as that kind of came out. And then after that, I just kind of like, I mean, I don't really own many of the games now, so I'd say that one. I kind of really enjoyed that for what it was, although I do think it's probably the weakest in the series, just because it's the first one ultimately, and they sorted a lot of problems, I think, out with that first one. But then, yeah, I've sort of more or less kind of borrowed all the rest from my brother and sister-in-law. So, yeah, after that, it was Soul Silver, and then Alpha Sapphire, Platinum, Black, Black 2, Y, and then Moon. But yeah, I'll talk more about the games perhaps in another one, just sort of my experiences kind of with those, and probably also just talk about like strategies and Pokemon that I used in that and that. So yeah, I'll do that at some point in time. But yeah, I think this is probably a good place to really end my sort of Pokemon anime history, for want of a better phrase. So yeah, it's a very short history, given that I really probably hadn't watched an episode kind of in its entirety until the back end of 2015, and then yeah, pretty much the whole of 2016 was, well, yeah, the year 2016 was the year of Pokemon for me, both in terms of the games I was playing. If you poison me, I swear to God, are you critical of me? You didn't poison me, fine, I'll accept that. Yeah, 2016 was pretty much the year of Pokemon, season 3 through 19 of the anime, and yeah, just kind of for all the. I will leave it there because I believe that's the hut or whatever where the samurai kid is going to live, and hopefully we'll get our Metapod back. But yeah, I think I'll leave it there. That's my history with the anime, and this is where yeah, sort of yeah, it's been a whirlwind kind of like last year or so, 2016 in terms of pretty much watching the entirety of the anime. So yeah, I feel like I'm pretty well versed in it. I say this isn't going to be the last time I talk about the anime, because I do want to do things like discuss the series in more detail in terms of like my favourite ones there. I also want to do favourite anime characters, travelling companions. That's going to be something that's coming up as well. Also favourite Pokemon. I don't tend to sort of have favourite Pokemon like others would do based on like movesets or design or whatnot, stuff like that. But any ones that I do have are very specific to the anime. So, for example, I'm not going to say Pikachu is like a favourite Pokemon of mine, but if I were going to pick a Pikachu, it would be Ash's Pikachu that would be my favourite because of the anime. So yeah, all my favourites are going to be based on very specific versions of those Pokemon that appear in the anime, rather than perhaps the Pokemon itself, because I just don't get too excited or anything like that about like the designs of the Pokemons or the movesets or stuff like that. So I don't really maybe have favourite Pokemon in that sense. It's just specific versions of the anime that I've grown to love for whatever reason. Yeah, I really will leave it there. This has gone on about almost 15 minutes longer than I anticipated, because I thought it was going to be about 40 minutes. But yeah, been a very much a kind of. I hope if you have watched all the way through this, I hope this has been somewhat just interesting and entertaining, hearing about how I kind of got into Pokemon. It's definitely something I wanted to do, just discuss all this through. I appreciate there's not much gameplay, although we have got a little bit part way through, completed episode 3 now with the Team Rocket fight, and got a little bit through part 4 with Challenge of the Samurai. But yeah, I appreciate it's not much progress here, and it's mainly just been grinding away, leveling Pikachu up, getting a Pidgeotto, catching a Pidgeotto, and leveling him up as well. I say him, it could be a her. Might check that out next time. But yeah, appreciate it's been a very kind of just grindy episode with not much happening. But yeah, if you have listened to all this, then yeah, I hope it's just been at least interesting to hear about how my sort of history with Pokemon's come about, and indeed quite a recent history. So yeah, I'll leave it there. Next time we won't do anything along these lines. Next time we'll be much more back to the game. So at least we'll have at least the next episode, and then yeah, let's just focus on the game, and then we'll see whether or not I want to delve into anything as detailed as I have done again next time. But yeah, next time we'll definitely be focusing purely on the gameplay of Pokemon AshGray. So yeah. Hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you very much for watching, if you've got all the way through. And yeah, I shall see you next time for continuation of episode 4 and possibly into episode 5 of the anime. Until then, cheerio.